Blind Billy and Zero are joined by their old companion, Pop. This is old Pops. And you guys are driving in your truck together to rendezvous with the train. The train doesn't go by any other name. It is this presence in the waste. It makes these constant circuitous routes around Alpha Sector. And the train is not massive. This picture, don't quite picture this size. Picture something like a short single wide trailer for each of the cars. And there are 4 cars, including the engine. So this thing isn't like this huge, massive, like Snowpiercer type deal. It's smaller than that. But the thing that makes the train unique is it is one of the few bright spots in the waste. This thing is beloved by all, respected by all. Like, you're not supposed to touch the train. It provides medical aid. There's some merchants on the back car that help like do some trade, and they also do some cargo, like freight moving. And all of this is kind of in service to the greater good. And so even like in the waste, this place is a dog-eat-dog, very competitive world, but everyone kind of agrees we're going to like take care of the train. So part of that is picking up supplies. You folks live in the forest of Alpha Sector, and you are just kind of part of this scattered, almost nomadic type peoples that, you know, live by their cars and their gas and their grit. And you're making a supply run to go meet with the train before the train goes into these tunnels that run underneath a mountain range. Tunnels can be pretty long. There's a few breaks in between, but that tunnel is tight and has existed for a long time. This train also, it's a bit of a carrot on a stick when it comes to everyone else in the waste, because there's some mysterious power source that functions to continually perpetually move this thing. It doesn't need fuel, and so it's always been attractive as a target, but no one has dared touch it. And it's a little bit mysterious who pilots it and all that. Okay, so it's a little bit of a mystery, the leadership of the train, but everyone has agreed. This figure, Jack McCall, the leader of the train, that figure, they remain in the pilot chamber of the train. They speak through intercom, and they keep the train moving. So as you're making your supply run, though, crap hits the fan. And you hear gunshots ring out, and you realize that inexplicably the train is under attack. And you're in your truck, you have all of your supplies with you, and you realize that, like, if the train doesn't carry defensive capabilities, because it's just been this treaty and pact for all of these factions for a long time. And as you approach, the shots ring out, people start screaming, you see others that were coming to the supply run scattering, and you realize now is a moment to step up and go save the train. So as you're cresting over the ridge and you're preparing and you're coming down out of the woods to the clear track of the railroad tracks, just give me a frame, a moment to introduce your character and also what that character is doing.
You go first, Kane.
Okay. Well, Billy, my character, who feigns blindness out of protection of himself. He's the kind of person that relies on reputation as his armor in this wild world. And so he's gained a reputation as a sharpshooter, but he's pretending he always keeps just a rag over his eyes or anything, even though he can actually see through it. And so he gained a reputation as a blind marksman. And so people try not to mess with him. So his general disposition is to kind of just sit back and, you know, he's more like looking off into somewhere that may not make sense. Like, he's not looking out the window. He might be like looking at the post of the frame of the vehicle for whatever reason. And he kind of like turns his head when he hears the gunshot, whatever. But again, he turns to where the noise is, but doesn't want to give it away that he knows exactly what's going on. So he more jolts up, is like, "What's going on? Who's shooting at us?"
right, that brings us to 0. Before you go, 0, what is your defense score?
10. So I have not.
Okay.
I don't have anything to add to my defense just
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah, 0 is the kind of guy who, he's a classic kind of science fiction trope, like one with a machine type guy. So he's always working on vehicles in the wasteland. He's trading with people that have spare parts or fixing things like for people in that are friendlies or in communities or whatever, making his trade that way. And he's kind of like he's known, or the people who know him know two things about him. He's like an excellent driver, like he can always seem to get through any type of terrain, but also that you see him like working on cars, and like other people would be full of grease and getting dusty and muddy and everything, but whenever he comes out from like under, he's like perfectly meticulously clean somehow. And it's like kind of this weird thing about him, like people don't notice it maybe at first, but then they're like, that's weird, like everyone else is like has grease on their face, and this guy's always like super organized, super clean, very like kind of almost meditative a bit, a bit quiet maybe when he's fixing cars. And I think like he always has he's not like a quiet guy, like he doesn't not talk or anything, but he always kind of has like maybe every now and then like a zen like phrase, when during certain situations, or keeps his cool a little bit.
Yeah.
More than some other people might. Not, obviously not always, but he likes to focus on a specific set of skills, which is mechanics and driving specifically. He really enjoys going fast, moving through the terrain, so that's kind of how I see him. Actually, as a question, I just remembered. You mentioned yesterday about a chunk for our truck.
Yeah.
So if there's, I just like the idea of the nitro injector for speed. I always like that kind of stuff. So you said add 1, so I think if that's cool, I'll add that to our.
I love that. Yeah, that's super cool.
It just fits his character to me too. My immediate thought, like I said, I'm not thinking like outside the box for a super original character, but
totally,
I like that solid character though, so it's fun.
Rock the trope, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so 0's at the wheel, kind of getting things ready, tuning up the truck. This is a very Mad Max style world where this truck has been broken apart and put back together multiple times, but meticulously clean, I imagine, from 0's care. Yeah. And you're going through. Blind Billy's in the cab. Pop is kind of hanging on in this back of the truck as you guys are moving down to join the chase. The train begins to pull away, and as it does, everyone kind of scatters, and it immediately becomes clear that time is running out for you to catch up and save the train. Okay, Pop's with you. Now, Pop is an NPC that can be helpful to you. He gets +2 to everything. He's an old man with a silly large hat, kind of hunched over, but he has survived this long for a reason. He's good at just about everything, and just a little bit. So he gets +2 to all of his rolls. You can command him and use him as like an additional action your turns. If you don't want to do anything with him, he'll just do something helpful when it comes to my turn. But he gives you a little bit of an extra resource, okay? So Pop is there in the truck with you. 0's at the wheel. You go, come in, and the rain begins to fall. Right now, the road is clear, and you don't anticipate any big obstacles coming your way. And the rain has just begun to fall, but you realize as the rain continues, everything's going to become more and more difficult, more slick, harder to see. You're going to have to keep it out of your eyes, keep it off windshield clear. And so right now it's fine, but every round that target is going to go up by 1 as the rain continues to just make everything in this environment more difficult. And as you go through, you see ahead of you, down the tracks, the train picking up speed and moving toward the mountains. And you see the mountains not very far away at all. In 5 rounds, the train will go into the mountains, into the tunnel. If you are not on the train or directly behind it, you have no chance of catching up and joining and being on the train. As you look and you see those mountains in front of you, you realize you have to get on this thing and you have to get on it quick. You see a bus, and that bus is just starting to pull away from the train, and you realize that everyone that was on that bus has already left and gotten on the train. As you see this kind of tongue of a ramp kind of, come back up the front of it, where, the people kind of get right in the train, there would be this metal ramp, and it's kind of retracted back into the bus. It is already finished depositing people onto the bus. And behind you see just a couple of goons left behind, rocking the ski masks. You don't see any particular thing of note to them. They're ragged clothing, skinny, wiry bodies. They're appearing to be like massive threats. Until that is, one of them produces. This guy here gets up on the roof of the bus, and he produces a rocket-propelled grenade launcher, and he is loading that thing in and preparing to fire. This car down here pulls away and begins to kind of actually slow down, trying to gain position, and you see a big harpoon launcher on the front of this thing that just fires directly forward, and you see a driver inside. As he's like driving, he's cranking this big mechanical device to pump up this air pressure, and it's basically like a Nerf gun from hell. Like, he's just like loading the pressure into like this air cannon that's going to fire this big harpoon directly in front. So he is going to be working to get behind you. That is clear. So what we're going to do first is we are going to roll initiative. These guys get no bonus to their roll. We're just going to see who goes first. So I'm going to roll, and then 0 as the driver if you want to try to beat my roll of 18. Okay.
That'd be a 9. Okay. Assuming Dex, anyway.
Yeah. So these guys go first. The bus kind of like pulls to where it wants to block direct access, and this guy gets trigger happy. Being farther away, he's going to have a more difficult time in this. I need you to make an easy Dex check as he fires the rocket launcher.
Come on.
Okay.
So 0, make an easy Dex. There you go.
21.
So as you guys scoot out of the way, the car is rocked and shaken by the rocket as it falls into the ground. Dirt kind of splatters up against the car. I need both of you to make adrenaline checks. So go ahead and roll. This is going to be charisma because it's freaking you out that you just got a rocket launched at you. So you're rolling charisma against the target.
21.
Ooh, fail.
Okay.
7.
Being behind the wheel of a car, you just gain 1 adrenaline. So adrenaline's at 1 for 0.
Yep, I'll note that here on my sheet.
You see this guy, and he kind of was like, he like kind of is falling back from firing this thing, and he kind of like gets back up, and you see a bandolier across his chest, and he just has 1 more round left in that bandolier for the rocket launcher, and he's working on loading that thing up. This other car just kind of like almost hits his brakes and squeals back where he falls directly behind you, trying to get position. You see like, he's got his eyes like locked on you, and he's like, I'm coming for you with the ski mask. He's a little freaked out himself. But now comes to you guys. What do you do?
I think 0 being, he's always going to be in control of the truck, and he doesn't have any ranged weapons, but Billy does. So can I, assuming maybe Billy wants to attack, I'm going to give him like a help action to like line up a shot, like be driving as steady as I can.
Totally, yeah. So here's one other thing that I like to add in about vehicle combat, okay? One little feature, every single vehicle has a gas pedal where if you slam it down, it will continue, and you don't have to be completely focused on driving. So if you wanted to like slam that thing and like step out of the window and like take a shot, or do something else in the car and just kind of maintain a straightforward line, you can do that. The other thing is it's going to be really easy to jump from one vehicle to another, and that's just a feature that I like because I think that's one of the coolest part of like car combat is like it's all about the characters and not really the cars themselves. So just bear in mind, I want you to have some context that those two things can happen. So you as a driver, if you want to do something awesome in maneuvering your car, that will take your action. But if you just want to maintain course and do something else, you have the opportunity to do that. Okay?
Yeah, sure. But
okay.
In the meantime, I don't have a ranged weapon, so I think it's like the idea of focusing on for the moment. So I'll
awesome.
If I can do something like that, yeah. Like I'm not really sure. Like I'll try and keep parallel to this guy as best I can, and aim to make a drive check that way, so the my passengers can have a nice clean shot.
All right, go ahead and roll up a dex roll.
That would be an 11, so just barely a pass.
Nice.
Okay, so you see a couple of big muddy ruts that you avoid. You kind of pull the car into gear, and you just have this nice, even, flat stretch. So everything for Blind Billy on this round is going to be easy.
Nice.
And so for Blind Billy, he's again just trying to stay like he's looking forward. He has his gun compass like at the ready. He's loaded it and everything like that. But he turns to Zero. He's like, "What's the shot? Like, where is it?"
I tell him in 3, 2, 1, I'm going to hit the brakes. You when he shoots ahead of us, you fire. So like I'm going to like just tap the brakes the tiniest bit, so he shoots a little bit ahead of us, and you can get a clean straight shot like right at us.
So I'm
driver's side window.
I'm shooting straight ahead.
To your right.
To the right. Okay, got it. And immediately he has the window down, and he just lines it up and waits for a signal.
Yeah, and the signal is I'll tap the brakes like for a quarter second, just enough to drop our speed and shoot him into position.
Okay. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1,
go.
Oh
nice.
Yeah, let's go. That's awesome.
Okay. So
what does that crit look like?
So he just immediately like rolls down the window. 3, 2, 1, turns, like fires. Dead center. Center of the head for the guy, again depending on damage, but hopefully it's an instant snipe. But that's a 10 plus a 2, so 12 damage total from that shot.
Okay, yeah. This guy is obliterated. His head just snaps, and the car just swerves and like falls back away as it kind of ends up smashing against a tree and is out of the chase. Take a hero coin for opening the game up with a crit. That was dope.
That is awesome. I turn to Billy and I say, "I'm going back for that."
I don't think we'll have time. Sounds like the train's getting away.
When we're done today, I'm going back for that car.
All right. Hopefully the scavengers don't get to it, but let's get going. Put the pedal to the metal.
All right.
Okay. So I'm going to pull up this guy real quick. This will be your grit. Just a reminder that's there. Okay. So, so, I mean, you just take this guy out with one shot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have these guys go ahead and make a charisma roll as they just see, like, and just their compatriot is Gonzo. Okay. So the driver makes it. Okay. So they steal their nerves. They set forward and they'd like, I'm going to kill you for that. I'm going to kill you. And he just loads up his rocket launcher, steadies it. I need you to make a hard dex roll. Oh, sorry. And the target goes up by 1 as the rain continues. So now we're at a target of 11. I need you to make a hard dex roll this time as he is the focused one here. Rocket launchers careening through the air. Make a hard dex for me, Zero.
I have biker's goggles which say driving is never hard. Does that count in this situation?
Yeah, totally.
All right, let's go. Ooh, 11, 12, 13.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Love it. Okay. So you guys careen. Another crater hits. I need you both to make a hard charisma roll to keep steady as this rocket was real close.
That's a fail as well.
I got a 12.
Okay. So 0 for this one, I'm going to have you take another adrenaline. So your adrenaline's up to 2.
Yep.
Did you say that was a hard charisma, or was that just a normal charisma?
That was a hard charisma.
Okay, I also failed. I'll take an adrenaline.
Okay. Well, you don't just take 1; you take a D4 because you're not a Zen driver. So I'm not throwing it much as 0 because of his character. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So either way. Okay. So you take 2 adrenaline as you're just kind of rocked by this rocket, and your ears are ringing a little bit, and you're mentally just trying to gain your bearings again as the dust kind of settles and you blast through the dust cloud. Comes back to you guys 4 rounds before that train hits the tunnel. What do you do?
0. Are they gonna? How many of those do they have?
That was clearly his last rocket round. You can see that. Billy may not.
Oh, I can't.
I say yeah. It looks like there's only looks like they only had 2 shots. So
okay,
I'm going to. How far ahead are they? Like fairly far away, or like if I use my nitro booster, can I catch up to them?
Yeah, using your nitro, you could catch up no problem.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, we only have we have 3 rounds left.
Yeah. So, as a quick question,
4 rounds.
What can Pop do for us? I yell back to Pop, like, does he have a gun or any weapons?
I'm gonna roll a D20. If he rolls a 20, he pulls a gun out of nowhere.
Nice.
Nope,
15.
He doesn't have a gun, but he does just kind of have a basic kind of hunter's knife that you usually use for dressing down like game in the forest. So he's armed with a weapon, and anything else he can assist with.
Sure, and he can, I assume, can drive. Let's say.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah, whether or not he's as good as me, but that's okay. That's cool. Okay.
Yep.
So I yell out to Pop like get ready, I'm going to punch it. And I hit the, I'm going to hit the nitro.
Okay.
Might as well use it early. So it says on the thing, I think it recharges in 1d4 rounds.
Yeah.
I think
so. So you go ahead and use that chunk, and that chunk's ability gets you there, man. And I'm not going to have you roll for it. Like, you're an amazing driver. That's what this car is made for, and it's going to be another 3 rounds before you have a chance to use it.
Yeah, I'll just drag this timer out for that, and keep track of that one. Okay, yeah. So
where are you trying to go? Because you can go where you want at this point. Where are you trying to end up?
I think like right up next to them.
Okay, right up on the right here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Right behind the train.
Yeah, you pull in real steady. Right behind there, and at this point you are right behind the train. It's the way that this back car works. It has a little bit of this receiving porch that merchants would kind of set out their wares if it was stationary. So there's kind of just that classic caboose, little like 4-foot area that you could make a leap onto.
Oh.
Okay, so as you do that, using your chunks ability, driving in, that's your whole turn, 0. What does Billy do?
That sounds good.
All right, Billy, where's the next one? I can hear the train.
It's right over my to the left, right over my shoulder.
Okay.
There's a bus, 2 guys. Yeah, I like put one hand up in front of my face.
Cover your ears. And so again, he's just going to turn to the left. He's going to aim for the driver.
Okay. It's going to be he's kind of, but there's a lot of metal between you and the driver, so it's going to be a hard dex to hit the driver himself.
Can I use a grit on that? Because that's I'm at a 7, so I want to add just 1 grit to it.
Okay.
It's a 12.
12.
And I will add my hero coin. I really want to get this driver.
Totally. Yeah.
Got a reputation to uphold.
Use your hero coin.
To add a D12. Yeah. Okay, that got me up.
That's awesome.
That got me up to a 15.
You got him. Okay, go ahead and roll that damage.
Okay, so this is a D8. That's a 7.
Okay. You take him out. This little weakling, the guy that was left behind doesn't have much to him at all. And you take him out as the bus careens. But you are right next to the bus that just lost control. So Zero, I need you to make a dex roll for me.
Come on, Zero.
That's 13.
Okay, so this thing, his last ditch as he kind of like slumps into the driver's wheel as he pulls it hard to the right, and this bus is starting to fly over. This goon sees what's happening, and he's going to try to jump onto your vehicle and kind of leave the sinking ship. So as he's leaping, he's going to go ahead and it's a little bit harder for him, but again, traveling from vehicle to vehicle, everybody is pretty adept at this in this world. So it's just an easy dex roll since it's a little bit more going on. And he fails. So what he ends up doing is he's like on the hood of your car and kind of being drugged a little bit. And he's going to go ahead and just take basic damage. So he is just getting tore up, and he's kind of like a wounded animal who wants to get one last strike in. You see in one of his hands, he's got this scrap knife, and he just sticks that scrap knife into the hood and is like pulling himself up. But he currently is being drugged along and is really on his last breath here. As the bus careens over to the side, smashes into a tree, and is out of the chase. Okay. 3 rounds until the tunnel. Target goes up by 1.
Mine goes down as well for Nitro.
Nice. Pop is going to be like, oh, Zero, do you want me to take the wheel?
Can I pretend? I can't reach. He's on like the.
Mm-hmm.
Say it one more time.
He's on the hood, the bad guy.
Yeah, he's kind of like on like the right wheel well, and he's kind of got like an anchor in the hood, so he's like trying to like work himself up on top.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. So he's on my he's on the opposite side for me. Okay. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I will. I tell Pop it's like just try and kick him off, and I'll hold it steady. So yeah, I think it's not easy for me to reach him to get all the way across, so I'll keep driving.
Yeah, totally. So Pop steps up. He's like, I'll take care of this youngster, this whippersnapper. And he kind of gets up and he kind of like reaches out and just tries to stick a boot in this guy. And he's unable to make it. So he kind of like slips a little bit, and this guy like slashes back at his leg, and they're kind of in this little bit of a slap fight as neither one is really in a deep tactical position, but he's working on him. But Pop so far hasn't gotten him off of the car.
Sounds good.
Comes back to you guys.
All right. I'm going to grab Blind Billy's barrel and point it towards the guy and tell him shoot.
Now, one thing I want you both to know is so far you've used 2 bullets out of 4. So we are counting bullets. You don't have infinite ammo. So I just want that to be clear before I'm saying like you're out.
Yeah.
It's just part of the setting is we're gonna actually keep track of that. So by all means, do it. I just wanted that to be clear.
That's up to you. Then I would say.
Yeah.
If
no.
You want to fire.
I'll pull the trigger in close. Because it's a rifle, is he considered close to me though?
Yeah, this is all happening. You're in like the cab of a truck with a hunting rifle. Like it's pretty tight quarters.
Yeah, with my rifle, any shooting close is hard. So we'll see if I can get it.
I think if Zero spends his whole turn to like assist you and like put the barrel where it should be, then that drops it down from hard to just a normal roll.
Yeah, I will literally like grab his barrel, push it, and kind of like just kind of slightly aim it and give him a bit of a support, and just say, just pull the trigger.
Okay.
I love that. Love it. That's awesome.
Damn.
hit a rock right at the last second. It just jolted.
Yep. So the barrel bounces up. I need all of you to make a con check as you just like unleash this thing right all in your faces. So go ahead and make a Constitution check for me.
That's a natural 1, but I got a 3. So
okay. So you take another D4 of adrenaline, Billy, and so you take 17. 1 more.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Sorry, I keep rolling. I'll let you roll.
Oh, you're good. I'll go ahead and roll adrenaline. I'll go ahead and like kind of count how much you get.
Okay.
But as that happens, you take another adrenaline because this thing not only like missed, but it kind of hit the metal and just rung out in such a loud like sound that shocked even you. But Zero is unfazed. But old Pop, he kind of skitters back and he's kind of like holding his ears and kind of like comes back into the bed of the truck, just like, what in the tarnation? Oh God, what are you doing? As he kind of is just blown away by what's happening.
Pop, it's the road. Too many rocks. We're not on the salt flats anymore.
Kind of calls back. He's like, well, if you let me drive, I'm sure we'd be doing just fine. Pop believes he's great at everything, so he's always going to take that stance. Okay. 2 rounds until the tunnel. Target goes up by 1.
Ooh, 13.
And this guy is going to make his last stand. And so as he's kind of come up, he's bloodied. He's kind of holding one arm that's like wounded, but he's got one arm that's shriveled. And he's just like, I'm going to kill you. And he's just out of his mind at this point. He's going to dive towards Zero with his knife, just kind of through the windshield and just try to stick it right in him. So here we go. He's going to roll it up. And he strikes with his knife.
Can I roll a grit to resist it, potentially?
Totally.
Like to kind of push him aside? You go ahead, sorry.
Absolutely.
You go ahead.
Oh, he does 1 damage, so if you spend a grit, he just doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, okay. All right. No, I'll leave it for now. Only 1, that's not too bad.
So he kind of comes in and just, gives you a nice slice across the shoulder. Like, everything's functional, but he's kind of in the cab now, like, head down with his knife, and he's getting ready to, like, swing it back around. And to you guys.
All right. Well, since I got a melee weapon, I will. He like slashes at me and gets like kind of stuck over Billy, so I just start wailing at his head with my gloves, with my metal gloves.
I love it.
Okay. As the he kind of came in, threw you off. The wind and the rain is all around you. He's kind of tussling. Billy's like pushed up against the door. Like it's just this mess of a dog pile inside the cab of this truck. So I'm still going to have you roll to hit this guy. So it's going to be a strength roll of 13 or higher.
Come on, Zero. Oh,
yeah.
I have
Nice.
0 plus 0 strength, so that hits. Great. All right. So
Awesome.
that's 2. That's a weapon, 2d6.
That's correct.
5 damage.
Okay. He is, he didn't have much left in him, and he is knocked out. So he just slumps as you have taken him out of this fight, but his body's still in the cab of the truck. So let's go in there and arrange this correctly here. He's kind of in there. Billy's on the other side. Okay, Billy. You just see this guy slump. He's a sack of potatoes at this point, kind of pressing up against you in the cab.
So I'm just gonna take a moment to grab him and just shove him back out the window, and just watch him slide off the hood and.
Yep.
Any
the
left?
Uncanny, like a limp body hitting the road. It's unpleasant for anybody to witness. I need you to go ahead and make an easy charisma check as you just kind of like see this thing unnaturally bent in. So yeah, you make it as he kind of like crumples and falls back behind.
Any left, Zero?
That looks like all of them. Train's up ahead.
All right, well, let's get there. You're the driver, right?
So I'll focus on. Is that the end of the round?
So you're just going to drive up and get close?
Well, so that's the question. So how do I approach?
So I think Zero took an action, which was beating on the guy. I can't really do anything now that there's no thing. I just pushed him out. The other thing maybe I'll ask is like, Pops, got any extra bullets? Like, I'm running low. You have anything in your spare pockets?
If he gets a 20, he's got the right bullets. And he sticks a hand through his pocket, which is obviously like emptied. There's a hole in the bottom of his pocket. And he's like, darn it, I love this jacket. Darn it. As he's just kind of like frustrated and mad. He's kind of more distraught about the jacket than anything at this point, and he does not have bullets for you.
All right, I'll find some.
He's like, I had something helpful, but it fell out.
We'll find some on the train.
Yeah, better.
Yeah. Okay. So if well, assuming that I can just drive, I'll get as close to the train. But if I need to catch up to a very fast-moving train, I almost have nitro back as well. So
okay, we're getting close.
I think what this looks like, since you took an action and you're kind of like driving as well, I'm going to say you have to roll a dex roll. Ordinarily, you just drive the truck, but because you're kind of like, bodies are flying and you're kind of seeing this thing tumble and Pop's freaking out, I need you to kind of hold the wheel. Go ahead and make a dex roll to get there.
Nice, Zero.
18.
Nice. Zero, you have nailed driving. Take a hero coin for like the dice answering the call of your character. That was just I don't think you failed a single driving roll in this entire scene, so well done. Okay. One round until the tunnel.
I can hear it.
Goes up by one.
Can see it off in the distance. It's coming up.
Yeah, the cliff face is coming up as you just see the gaping hole of the tunnel, and it's about to plunge in there.
All right.
What do you do?
Just as a refresher, so we have to get on. There's like a ramp on the back of the train, you said?
Classic Old West caboose, right?
Yeah. There's
like a little kind of porch with some rails. Yep. Just
a
like
little
that.
like 4-rung ladder, that kind of thing. And
yep. Totally.
But I believe you also said the truck can follow through the tunnel if we're behind the train.
Yes. Now, if you're entrusting at the Pop, I mean, there's a chance that he's gonna. I mean, it's a tough ride, and it is dark in there. So I wouldn't recommend bringing your truck in, but you totally could try to bring it in.
Yeah. So I'll turn to Pop and say, "Pop, you take the wheel. We're gonna board the train." And I open my door so that Pop and I can switch out, and using my I'm just going to flavor this if that's cool, using my Lancer harness, like kind of hooked up to the door for a bit so I can swing around to get up on the hood and unhook myself with a carabiner and get ready to make the jump.
Yeah, that's some good flavor right there.
Okay.
So I'll go for that if that's what you want to do, and I'll tell Pop, like, once we make it to the train, you back up and wait for us. Okay.
Well, good luck to you. Been nice knowing you. You've been good friends. And he's like doing kind of just, like when you get older, you just lose sense of time and you just want to chat. And he's kind of a little bit of that zone now. He's like, well, you have a good one, and I'll take this wheel here. And he's kind of a bit nonchalant about the whole thing, but he kind of gets into the driver's seat, kind of leans back. He's adjusting the seat to make sure he's comfortable, and kind of gets in place.
All right. So, yep. So I tell him, get as close as you can. Just keep her steady.
He does just that. He keeps her steady, gets you right up, and that Lancer's harness, there's nothing to it. You can jump right on.
Sure. All right. I'll just jump over to the...
Billy.
I tell you what I'll do if this is okay. I imagine, like I said, the Lancer's harness kind of has like some paracord straps and like a couple of carabiners and stuff just to keep you locked in the driver's seat. And so when I get over, I hook it onto the rail of the caboose and reach out so I can like help Billy. And that way, if he stumbles, then I'm still hooked on, so I can't fall.
All right, I love it. Yeah, so he's all hooked on. He's assisting you. So Billy, that's going to be real easy to make that jump.
Sure hope so. So Billy's going to like just pull himself out the window, poncho, flapping and flailing from the wind at the high speeds that we're going. He's going to get on the hood and just kind of crouch down, and as Zero calls to him, he's going to just jump with a that is, what is that? A 10.
Okay.
So
as you jump, you kind of go ahead.
I was going to say I may need to use some grit on that one.
I think
it tears up your ankles a little bit, but you're still going to get on the train. It's just you're going to take some damage.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So you kind of stumble, you kind of like hit your head up against one of the rails, and you kind of jump in, and you would fall, but Zero is there with his Lancer harness kind of hooked in, and he catches your hand and pulls you up. The rocks and the tracks kind of drag at your feet, and you take 1 more damage.
Okay. Let's see. That's my first
Okay.
point.
So, at this point, the truck pulls back. Pop kind of gives a little bit of a salute and a wave.
Yeah, I just give the
as you
thumbs up.
enter into the tunnel, and immediately you are struck by rocking noise of the train echoing through this cavernous space, and you are enveloped by complete darkness as it just kind of, and you enter into this other world inside the tunnel. I need you both to make a hard charisma roll.
Whew. Nope.
Okay.
Nope, that's a critical fail.
So both of you take 2 adrenaline, and we're gonna slap another adrenaline on top of that for 0 because you had that critical fail. So you take 3. Billy takes 2 more adrenaline.
Yeah,
As
so
you are just kind of like, what in the heck are we doing? As you kind of hit this moment of dread of like, you're on this mysterious train, this tunnel, this darkness has enveloped you, and you stand at the door, and the door kind of creaks open.
It's pretty dark in here, isn't
you are
it?
able to enter this first car.
Oh, man.
So let me do a little bit of copy and pasting here.
Oh, I like these darkness tokens.
Thank you.
Did you made them? I'm assuming.
I did not. They are from some assets that are used for Doom Vault.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool, man.
Cool.
I thought I saw someone else with a picture of them. Yeah, it's a cool idea.
Okay, your grit's at 3. You've entered the tunnel. Just trying to give us all bearings here. The target, because of the pitch black, is now 18.
Whoa.
That's right. Target's 18. And you realize that it's only a matter of time until the engine is overtaken. And you know that's going to happen in 10 rounds.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so you get this sense of urgency where there are 10 rounds for you to make it through. The door kind of creaks open, and you just hear a voice kind of call out to you, be like, "Hello, any harm? We don't want to do nothing. Please help us!" And you just hear this panicked voice that calls out as the door kind of opens up. He's like, "Please, don't kill us! Don't kill us!"
I say, "Where are you?" I call it.
You hear a voice call out farther down the train in the darkness, just kind of like echoing through this car, and a little bit to your left.
Okay, so I tell Billy, I'll take point and tell you where to shoot.
Okay, I've only got 1 bullet left.
I'll tell you if it's worth shooting and where to shoot.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other way to fight?
I got a pickaxe just strapped on my back.
All right, I'll tell you where to swing.
Okay, you both kind of move forward in the darkness. You hear this voice. And he's like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Who's there? Please, who's there? At least I need to know the name of the person that's killing me. Come on."
I look at Billy, but he probably doesn't look at me. And I don't know if we should yell out. I call you. What's your name? Who are you? Do you work on the train?
My name's Hicks. My name's Hicks. I'm just a merchant. Please.
Yeah. Okay. I say, Hicks. We're trying to figure out who was attacking this train. We're on our way.
Yeah, they came in here and they shot Mud. They shot him dead. He's right there. And you realize at this point that your boots are slick with a liquid. And I need you both to make a madness check.
Ooh,
so you are trying to roll above your current adrenaline.
Do we add anything to it?
Nope. This is just looking to get above your adrenaline.
Just made it. Yeah, 5 is my current
You
adrenaline.
just made it.
Yep, I'm also at 5.
So you guys keep your sanity as you realize that this blood trickling through this metal walkway is this liquid is blood. That this ground is slick with blood, and you like there is a dead body that is in this train car, and it freaks you out. But you're able to kind of come back from the brink of madness as you kind of move forward. And Hicks calls out to you again. He's like, "Please, they ran through here. They shot mud, and they kept running. Please."
I ask him, "Are there any? Do you know if there's any lights here?"
Well, the next car it has emergency power. It's the medical car, but this one I don't know. There's no lights. Let me see if I've got something that will help. And so what he does is he clicks on a flashlight, or sorry, not a flashlight, a little Zippo lighter, and he kind of lights himself up in the darkness.
All right.
Are you armed? Are you armed, Hicks?
No, they don't let us keep stuff like that on the train. And we don't have anything for killing here, but we do. I don't know. We might have some things that are helpful to you. We want to help. Isn't that right, Echo? And you hear a woman's voice be like, "That's right, Hicks. We'll help. We'll try to help. Promise."
All right. Well, I'll say, all right, I'm coming. So I'm going to move towards Hicks, towards his where he's lit up.
Okay. As you move toward him, you step through the blood, and you kind of realize that there's a body on the floor. And as you kind of like step over the mass of the body and step toward Hicks, you see that he's a merchant, and he kind of has his wares next to him kind of scattered out. Now, in the commotion, they're kind of scattered around, and he's kind of holding his little Zippo, like trying to see what he can find. Now, the way that this works is every round that you guys stay in this room, you will be able to ask for an item from the merchants, and you'll just get a roll. If it's distinctly combat driven or like harmful, I'm going to have you reroll because that would not be on the train, but you can kind of see what they have. But that takes time as he's kind of like scattered and looking through the darkness. So every turn you stay, there's an item. There's no threat that is immediately apparent to you. So the first item that he offers at 0, I need you to roll a D100.
All right.
Trixie.
Okay.
56, or is that 65? I don't know.
So double click it.
Oh yeah, okay.
And you'll get a D100.
Yeah, there you go.
What are the odds?
56.
What are the odds?
That's amazing.
Apparently it was 56.
Okay. So you find a bear trap.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Huh. He kind of pulls that out. It's not a huge, massive jaws. Okay. Let's say it's about like so. All right. It's kind of the width of 2 hands. And this thing, it takes a round to set it up and get it ready. And it does ultimate damage to the target that steps on it. Okay. And so you've got this thing, it's got a short chain with it. So maybe you could like a little carabiner type chain where you could latch it to something. But it's meant for hunting game. It's not meant as a weapon. So you can't like toss this at somebody and expect it to be any more than a piece of metal. It's like you have to set it up, get it ready. That's why it's even allowed on a train. Like it's like selling it to people in the forest.
Yeah, that's right. That makes sense.
He kind of like looks around. He's everything like the train kind of like jostles back and forth, and that's the most he can find. He's like, I've got this. Will this help? And he hands the bear trap to you.
I say Billy? Might come in handy.
Billy kind of wanders through, stepping over the body gingerly, comes stepping over to Hicks. Again, just kind of staring off into different things, looking at him, looking to the side. Still has his gun up. He's like, okay, we're not going to stay long, but yeah, what do you have?
Okay, go ahead and give me a D100 roll.
88.
8.
Okay, he's he like kind of jostles back and forth. He's rustling through drawers. You see some like produce and fruit kind of fall out. Just some various food kind of stuff like scatters around and rolls around and starts getting covered in the blood by your feet. And then he pulls out, he's like a set of binoculars, and he's like, I don't know what good these are gonna do you. As he kind of like hands them to you, he's like, I don't know, maybe you can throw them. I don't know.
Well, he'll take them and Billy will pull off his canteen and let him have a swig from his canteen.
Oh, he takes that cool drink, kind of like soothes him and calms him down a little bit. And he's, oh, thank you. Ooh, thank you. Go and take a hero coin for looking out for this man's good.
Yeah, it should heal him a little bit, but yeah, so binoculars. That'll be fun.
You get +2 wisdom when scouting. That's what they do.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
9 rounds until the engines are taken. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm cutting you guys off.
Oh, you're good.
It's okay.
Anything else?
We're good. No, I was just going to ask, do we see a door to the next car?
You do. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a door currently shut. You see a little bit of light filtering through from like emergency, like kind of lights that would, like in a plane crash, they have those emergency lights that kind of light up the walkway, give a little bit of dim light. That much is filtering through, but otherwise it's like pitch black. So at this point, it's like a night light on the other side of a door, but so it's not helping you guys out much.
Yeah, I tell the merchants, take cover. We're gonna go on to the next car. You said it's a medical car?
Yep, it's the medical car. As you kind of announce, like, oh, we're gonna go on the next car. He's like, yeah, we sure are lucky. They only had one patient on board. I really hope he's okay, man. It was something really weird going on with him. Something strange. I hadn't seen anything like it. Got stuff growing on his skin and growing on his face. Oh man, I hope it wasn't contagious. Darn train looking out for everybody, even if it's no good to the rest of us.
I say, all right. When we go through, you close the door. Stay quiet back here.
All right. It sounds good. And he clicks off the Zippo. He's like, there's not much fuel left in this thing, but it might be of use to you more than me. It's better here. It's nice, dark, and quiet. So he hands one of you the Zippo. Who takes it?
Roll for it?
Yeah.
Who wants it?
Yeah, do you want it 0 or do you want me to hold on to it?
I'll take it.
Okay.
Okay.
Zippo.
So this is how many rounds of fuel are left where it will provide light. Just one more round of fuel left in that Zippo. So I just there's these kind of consumable items. You can make a little circle next to it. It provides light in the right context. That would also help lower the target number if you're moving around in the dark. But otherwise from that, it's a little lighter.
It can also probably light a little thing on fire.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So,
yep. I just put fire combustible things into the hands of players. God help me.
Although I don't think we want to blow up the train. Like, I think we still respect the train enough to not damage it too much.
Okay. He says, Godspeed to you. I'll shut the door behind you. Do you mind much if I lock it?
Just open it quick if we come back.
Yeah, just be ready.
Okay. So as he kind of gets ready and sets you guys up, you guys all kind of like crawl toward where you know the door to be. And, he kind of like swings open the door and the faded emergency lights kind of come into your eyes. It's almost shocking to your eyes from the pitch black that you just experienced. As you look into the next car and as you kind of tumble into the next car, he shuts the door behind you and you hear a click where he locks it.
I whisper to Billy, I hope we don't have to come back. I hope we can get off on the front of the train.
That's true.
All right. Let's see what's up.
Gonna do a little copy and pasting.
Oh, good. I don't mind. A little bit of light.
Mm-hmm.
The light's still dim. It's a target of 15.
Have you ever noticed, Zero, how weird medical rooms are and how they smell? It's clean. Too clean.
My grandfather used to tell me that blind men could have heightened senses. I don't know if that's something that you've experienced.
Well, all I can tell you is that living out in the waste, you come into a place like this, it's unsettling. Where's the dirt? Where's the filth?
I say like I prefer the smell of my shop.
Smell of gunpowder.
Oil,
in my
oil
mind.
and grease and gas.
So,
Let's
as
be
you
careful.
step into the next car, you look ahead of you and you see a smallish figure, about 5'5", thin, wiry muscles, gas mask, clearly a lady. And just that like wiry frame that almost like cross-country runners have is kind of what you see. She's armed with armor, and you clearly see the insignia of like a mercenary group in the waist that's like hired guns. And we are going to roll to find out what gun she has.
Ooh.
An 11. That can't.
I'm going to re-roll that because that was a rocket launcher, and that just narratively doesn't fit. That's a grenade launcher, also narratively doesn't fit. She produces a pistol, and you see this dim little blue spark coming from the front of it, as she has the taser face electric stun pistol. Nice. And the rounds that she has in this will not only do it's just going to be weapons damage. This was basically like riot control that police would have in the old world, but now it's kind of made its way in the hands of more nefarious purposes. So they've kind of rigged this thing to be lethal, but not as much as like, the hunting rifle that Billy has. And you kind of see this like taser, but she shoots these taser rounds, and it has the potential to stun you when she attacks. And she kind of like pulls this thing, crouches down, lowers her center of gravity, and does a quick roll out of view. So as you look into the medical car, there's a door leading through the halfway point, leading into the next area. And so she is out of your line of sight as she kind of dips down and gains a better position. You see a figure in the far bed covered in blankets and kind of like this lumpy form. And you kind of see like a little bit of twitching and shivering of movement. We are going to roll to see who goes first. She gets +3.
Whew.
Beat a 15.
Thank goodness,
18.
0.
Okay. 0. You guys get to go first. What do you do?
All right.
Just
to ask some questions. So is there like a door here, kind of?
It's not a door. It's just an opening, but it kind of like it's a door-sized opening. So there's nothing that is blocking it either way. But she's out of view. You just saw her, and she kind of rolled to the side.
Yeah. What's this thing right here? Is that a vent?
Perfect. I did not describe super well. So as you guys enter in, this is a medical car. So this is where they provided medical care to people on the train. So you see rudimentary medical equipment beside the beds. You see a nurse's office would have cabinets that have a latch on them so they don't just fall open as the train moves. But this is kind of like your basic primary care provider doctor's office, right? There's a little bit of a sink-esque setup. There's some sanitary stuff, medical supplies. You may find some interesting items if you take a look. But it's just what you would imagine a post-apocalyptic medical car to be. If you have any other specific questions, I'll kind of fill in those details. You do have these emergency lights that are running along the floor. The ceiling is hard to make out in the gloom, but you're able to see most things pretty clearly.
Okay. So these are like tanks maybe up here.
Yeah, let's roll.
And
So their tanks, they're depleted, so they don't have anything left in them. But they are like big metal canisters. But the gauges are all in the red.
Okay, and are there blankets on these beds? I guess.
Yeah, there's some wool blankets, some clean sheets.
Okay, I'm trying to think of a plan to. So,
Are there?
I whispered quickly to Billy, like, she's out of sight. She's definitely waiting for. So, we need some kind of distraction so that we can get the jump on her, because there's only one way to her.
I can't tell. I don't know if it was the train. I'm hearing squeaky wheels. Are there any wheels on those? You said there's beds.
Are there wheels on the beds?
Yep, totally. They're currently locked, but you can unlock them and they'll start rolling around.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I say, yeah, it looks like they just have little foot locks just to press on them and they'll be able to move around.
Why don't we grab one of those and push it in first? Maybe even follow it behind, stand behind. I don't know.
Yeah, have you ever been in
a gunfight where you like roll a barrel out in the middle of the street as you like run behind it?
I haven't. However, kind of reminds me of what we were doing outside, trying to get cover. So, trying to keep steady. So, yeah, okay. I say I'll push the. I'll go first. I'll push the cart, duck down as low as I can for some cover, and try and ram her with it if I see her. And you be ready to take a swing at her.
Okay. Pickaxe at the ready.
So yeah, that'll be my plan. Like to, as quiet as I can, I've got to get to there, through, and just be kind of like hunkered down as best I can.
Okay.
And
how far do you move it?
How far can I move it? This question.
Yeah, I mean, if you just go all out, I would say from one end of the car to the other is far. So if you just go all out, you could just let's just run this thing straight through the center of this and make it far into the next room.
Yeah. So I think what I'll do is try and like rush in through to here and then make like a sharp turn, because I did see her go this direction. So I assume she's somewhere here. You know, I obviously can't tell she's there, but so rush through and make a sharp turn so that I can kind of stay on this side. Assuming she's down there.
Are you tossing the bed away from you as you kind of get to the side, or are you staying behind the bed to try to ram it into her?
Yeah, I'm going to stay behind it to try and like maintain a bit of cover and / ram it in.
Okay, sounds good. So what I'm going to have you do is you are basically just trusting your gut. You don't know what's on the other side of this wall. So I'm going to have you make a wisdom roll, and you're just going to trust your instincts of like, I think she's right about there. And let's see if you're right. So go ahead and roll a wisdom roll for me.
All right, just a second. I'm going to use my and add a D12.
Come on.
Go for it.
Oh, damn.
Here, take mine. You can take mine if you need. If you want. We also have grit. So.
Let me use a grit instead. You keep your coin because it's maybe better for re-rolling. So that's sorry. Can I see? I forgot what the results are. 7, 8, 9, 10, and I add a D10.
Yes, I think yes.
5. So that would be 15. Just to confirm that, does my adrenaline add to grit?
It does.
So that's a 10 then, right? So
you got dirty 20.
Dirty 20 in total.
Nice. So you kind of, steel your nerves, clamp down your teeth, and be like, okay, go. And you kind of run through this next area, and are able to get it.
If I can make a suggestion, maybe when I get through, because like I get through and I think she's in one spot, but then I see her out of the corner of my eye, so that's my grip coming in, and then like I hard turn at the last second to try and smash into her.
Yeah, I think what happened is she kind of pounced up on like this countertop. So your original plan, it would have just run into the wall, but you're able at the last second to kind of flip it up toward her, and the bed kind of careens and hits, and she kind of gets pegged and gets knocked off her feet, and she's just going to take basic damage from that. So she takes 3 damage.
Nice. And well, that's fine. I was going to say, if possible, I'd kind of dive towards one of the other beds, but I think that's good.
Okay, you dive toward the bed that has the shape that's still under the covers. The one patient that the merchant described.
All right. Ooh.
Excellent. I love that.
All right. So Billy is gonna at this like right behind him. He's gonna follow in and without calling it out, I think he's gonna flub up his persona a little bit. He's gonna rush in right where she's at and make a swing with the pickaxe.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it up. Strength roll.
Okay, that's a
Yes, 19.
dirty 20.
Okay. All right, you're gonna roll damage.
So my pickaxe is, if I get a hard strength, it's max weapon. I didn't I didn't say that beforehand. Would you roll it like that I exceeded what would have been hard, or would you in that kind of case would you want it to be like specified, like I'm swinging this really hard?
I imagine that as like a called shot that you're going this like a haymaker. So I'm gonna let you, if you want, you can go ahead and roll again. If that next roll is 18 or higher, then you will do max effort. Otherwise, it's just gonna stay with the standard roll.
No, I just wanted to verify on how that plays out. So yeah, I like the called shot. So I'm just gonna stick with what I did and deal 6 damage to her.
What she does is she's going to try to reach up and grab that thing and push it back, and she's going to use her own grit. So she resists 2 of that. So how much damage did you do?
6.
6 minus 2. So you dealt 5 more? Or
yeah. 4 more. 4. Yep.
Gotcha.
And then after he does, I think he'll probably like take a step back, and probably after the whole scuffle is over, once she's dead, he'll probably realize that he wasn't really in character at that moment. Hopefully Zero won't notice.
Hoping for a little bit of blind luck.
Keep it to myself for later. Yeah.
The shape in the bed next to Zero begins to kind of shuffle and move. 1 second. A little anticlimactic because I forgot to get it in the right folder.
Dun, dun, dun. Loving the train. It's so fun to be on the train.
Train is a good environment. As the linearity is interesting, but at the same time, it's
there's an ambiance to it, definitely.
Yeah, it's fun.
This shape turns around and you are face to face with this thing, Zero, as it like part of its mouth opens up. This is kind of like a scene from The Thing, as this like creature grotesquely kind of opens up half of its face with mandibles coming out. One of its eyes is completely overtaken and he's compounded. You see like this black ichor kind of working its way deeper and deeper into its veins, and it gives out this terrifying like squeal and a hiss that just cuts right to your soul. I need you to make a madness check, because you are right next to this thing and you're face to face with it.
So a madness is beat adrenaline, is that correct?
That's correct. You're trying to get over your adrenaline.
17.
Thank goodness.
Okay.
Whew.
You still take 1 more adrenaline because it's irresistible. Yeah. You just got confronted with this grotesque creature. Billy, you look over and see it. It's not quite as intense for you, but you need to go ahead and make a charisma roll to resist adrenaline.
Okay, that is a 13. So I didn't make it.
So you take D4 adrenaline. You take another adrenaline point. as you kind of see this thing hiss as it kind of like leaps up and the blankets come back and you see these spines and part of a human body and like, you know, whatever clothing is like pierced through with these different appendages that are coming forward and these howling like claws. The first one like slings at 0.
Whew.
He hits and does 5 damage to 0. And he
man.
leaps across with an intense speed, just flings himself and like comes down with all of his claws, is trying to like land all of his claws in Billy's chest. And he kind of like careens forward, and you're able to push him to the side as this thing kind of tumbles and like latches up against the walls. It starts climbing up the wall of the side train. This merc is freaked out, seeing like, what? What's that? Gonna make a charisma roll for her. She makes it, and she's like, get off of me, and she kicks the bed away. So it kind of flings over to the side, and then she just has that pistol point blank at Billy, and she's gonna fire an easy shot. So that is 6 + 5 is 11, and that doesn't hit you, Billy.
Well, technically, if it's an easy shot against the 14, it would be 11. But if you're giving ties to the players, one way or the other.
Yeah, so I added 3 to, like, she already got +3, so I added another 3 and still did not make it. So your armor holds up as it kind of gets caught in that chainmail and the electricity dissipates and you're kind of grounded up against the wall as this electricity kind of flows into the body of the train and away from you.
Okay.
And she, as seeing what's going on, is trying to gain better position, so she like leaps back over into this other corner and is like chambering another round on this taser pistol. 0, it's back to you.
All right.
Oh boy,
that thing hurt me pretty bad, so I'm not interested in dealing with that. Do I? Is this like a room that she went in, or just like a little office, like a different, like cubicle type thing?
Yeah, this is pretty to scale. It's long and narrow, so these aren't necessarily like open rooms as much as she just kind of like backed away into a corner up against some counter space.
Got it. Okay, so I think for the sake of it, I'm going to run at her, and I'm going to run towards her and start yelling like, "We got to work together! We got to work together!" And
what are you trying to accomplish here?
I would like to see if I can convince her to stop fighting us and let's all fight this thing.
Okay, as you're kind of having this back and forth and you lock eyes, you're trying to basically like fundamentally by force of will communicate to her like, join us, and it's a heated moment. So what we're gonna do is I need you to make a hard charisma roll against the target.
All right.
For her to kind of like sync up with your intentions.
I do have +2, so hopefully. Damn it.
Okay, so as you guys kind of lock eyes, all she sees is just, a person yelling at her in the darkness with a monster on the wall, and like she's unable to kind of focus and make that human connection that would kind of draw her out of her adrenaline. Honestly, her body is in fight or flight mode, and she has chosen to fight. So you can still move around, but all that effort of trying to, persuade her and kind of putting your force of will, that was your action for this turn.
Yeah.
Anywhere else you want to go?
If there's a little bit of cover right here, I'll like duck away from her just to get something between us.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of like kind of duck behind some counters, kind of make yourself smaller, trying to kind of get away from her wrath.
So I have a question. Between the train cars, is there space like you'd expect with trains, or do they butt up pretty much next to each other?
Yeah, that's a great point. Earlier we didn't really describe that as far as like the door opened and you were there, but that doesn't really make sense for a train either. So yes, there is space in between there. I imagine it's kind of enclosed with kind of that flexible plastic. So when you open up that door, it shot you into the next space. So it's enclosed, but there's that kind of flexible joint space in between the train cars.
Okay. That kind of, I'm in my head, Billy's like running through the scenario. I was like, okay, I could open this door. Maybe we can shove it off the train and let someone else deal with it, or maybe we just duck into the next train car and sorry, mercenary, like your food, food for this thing. And so I do think that Billy's gonna just back up to the door in case he does need to make an escape, and he is gonna raise his rifle and take a shot at it.
Okay. Things kind of half its face is opened up, kind of hissing at you, readying to pounce. Go ahead and take your shot.
Okay. I'm gonna need to use my hero coin to reroll that. Come on. Even worse.
Damn it.
I don't want to use my grit either because we're still going on. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to take the shot and miss. That's my last bullet too.
The last bullet is spent. Oof. This thing is enraged as you take the shot, and you know you would have hit where it was, but you just anticipate how fast or how unnatural its movements are as it kind of pounces up to the ground and pounces onto the ceiling, and it's kind of like, you know, moving its way through the gloom, and you're unable to hit it. And that bullet, that chamber or the round flies from your rifle, and it's just this disappointing tink 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 as it kind of hits the ground. I need you to make a charisma roll to resist more adrenaline, as you know your bullets are spent.
That's a 16.
Okay, you make it. This won't be the end of Billy. Not today. All right, here they come. So I'm going to have the Merc just do a straight up roll. 1 through 3, she targets you guys. 4 through 6, she targets the monster. She's very set on this thing, like realizes, like, you know, I can't afford to deal with this. So she kind of like steps up, readies her aim, and fires her pistol. And a shot goes wild as the blue arcing electricity, as the electricity dissipates, kind of lights up the room for a second as this thing continues to crawl across the wall. And she's like, I ain't dealing with this. I'm getting out of here. And she just like starts booking her way toward the other side of the room, leaving you guys with the monster. This thing leaps down and first takes a slash. She's trying to get to Billy's throat. And he's unable to succeed as Billy kind of like dips away as this thing grazes across, just leaving a little scratch. It does like a parkour roll, rolls up and it brings the same attack up against 0. And again, this thing is just like herky-jerky, just kind of like, you know, at the last second just pulls away as it's not totally in control. And it kind of like slings itself over onto the ceiling again, ready to make its next strike. I haven't been counting down the rounds, have I?
I thought you were. I don't know.
We've spent
two
rounds in here, and we came in with 9. So yeah, so that's the end of the 7th. We're starting our 6th round left.
Okay, sounds good. I'll leave it right there. All right, back to you guys.
0. Like,
I'm just gonna back away until I yell run.
We don't have time for this.
Yeah. So I'll run up by you, and we'll open the door, and we'll attempt to open the door and go through.
Yeah, and then shut it as quickly as we can behind it.
Yeah.
The mercenary like holds out her hand. She's like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me?" Right. As you kind of shut the door. And you know that you just left a human being with a monster as food. I need you both to make a charisma roll, as that's just an unnerving proposition.
Oh, no.
I barely made it 16.
All right,
Sorry.
0. I need you to do a madness check.
Yep. Okay, so beat 6. 15. That's a success.
Thank goodness.
So you gain 1 more adrenaline, but you don't lose your mind.
As I go through, it's like she's got a gun and there's another door.
No, it's locked on the other. The merchants locked that one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
choices were made.
Oh, that's not helpful. Put it out of range. How's it even possible? Oh, there it is. You've made your way into the freight car.
Oh man.
And as the door shuts, it's eerily quiet as you kind of come into this initial corridor, and it's tight, right? So the way that the freight car is, it branches off. You can go up or down according to what you guys as players are looking at. And then these black spaces are these shelves filled with equipment and freight, and they're basically these tight little hallways. It's kind of like a condensed warehouse. And again, this does not have emergency power, not being medical, and your target is again 18.
Oh man.
Okay. So as you kind of hit that target, you hit the darkness, you bump into another figure that is there at the corridor, and you recognize the same equipment as another mercenary, but he like holds up his hands and he is like doing this, and he holds a finger to his mouth like, do not make a sound. And he like points, and you just hear this just like deep guttural hiss that hits. And you, as you encounter this darkness and you see this hardened mercenary, I need you both to make a charisma check for adrenaline.
Oh man. Nope. Oh wait. Whew. I made it. Well, yes, barely. Hard charisma. I got to 18. Sorry, I had to do the math real quick. I was getting freaked out when I saw that too. Sorry, Zero.
Oh, it's all right.
All right, Zero takes another point of adrenaline as you like realize there is something in here, and he's like, do not make a sound. You can't tell exactly where the hiss came from. It's just kind of echoing throughout the whole car. What do you do?
Okay. What can we see just this little bit that we can see in the immediate, like, couple of feet?
You can, yep. So you can go up, and you can go down, and that leads to more corridors and hallways.
Sure. So that's like like a little catwalk type thing.
Yeah, little aisles.
Yeah, it's on the ground. It's aisles. Thank you. That's a good word.
Oh, okay.
So,
I understand. Yeah.
It's basically like library aisles. This really condensed kind of warehouse shelving. Everything is kind of like pinned up in place where you don't really have to worry about stuff getting tossed off of these shelves. Kind of like luggage racks in an airport bus. It has a little retention, metal rail, but there's just stacks of things just slammed up against these places. Different merchants, different factions are using the train in a matter of goodwill to kind of move things from one place to the next.
So I'll grab the mercenary and just like say that I recognize. I hear what he's saying. I'll be quiet, but I look at Billy. I tap Billy, and I have the bear trap, and I'm thinking like I might as well. Maybe we can lower this thing, whatever it is, and if we can figure out some way to make a distraction to get it to come towards us, we can get it to step in the trap. But I don't know exactly how we're going to do it without making too much noise. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah. So as you're kind of whispering, like, I have this trap, I can get this thing, this mercenary whispers back to you and says, like, they got through, but I was too far behind. I took my time, and something's in here, man. I haven't seen anything like it. It got him. It got him, and he's just kind of freaked out, and he's saying something's in this car with you, and it already took out one of his compatriots, and he wasn't able to get through, but his other like teammates were able to get through before they kind of, he kind of got trapped by this thing.
Mm-hmm. By chance,
you go ahead.
Do you have any bullets? And he kind of shows him the rifle, and it's like, this is like, I can help, but I don't have any bullets.
He shakes his head. He's like, no, man, I don't have any bullets. I just got this. Hold on 1 second. So he does have a katana that's like shaking in his hand. It's like kind of quivering like this, and he's kind of holding it, and he's just like he's totally afraid. He's struck with fear, so he just offers it. He's like, "Here, you take it. I don't know what to do with this." So either one of you can take the katana.
I have my gloves. One second. I was going to look at the.
Yeah, I can.
If it's okay, I'm going to look at the katana.
Yeah, no, you're good. If you don't want it, I'll trade him with the pickaxe for the katana. But yeah, if you want the katana, like that's fine.
Yeah, I'll take it if that's cool.
Yeah, totally cool. I'd rather have a gun anyways, but I need bullets. Come on, mercenary. Get your act together.
Bullets. Okay,
rare.
So I have a plan. Yeah, okay. I'm going to. I have a plan. I don't know where the thing is the problem, but I have a feeling that. Does anybody have a blanket or something? You have like your duster or your poncho, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't want to steal your poncho.
I could rip off a scrap. Like that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I hold up the bear trap and the lighter, and I say, maybe we can. Maybe I can quietly set up this trap, and if I light the lighter as a flare, maybe it'll come towards the trap. And if we hide, that's the kind of what I can think. Oh, I also have a whistle. that might be useful as well. Maybe I could do the same thing.
Yeah, make some noise.
Yeah.
Maybe save the lighter and just set it out in front of you, and just blow the whistle.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, okay, you two, get ready to hit the thing if it gets stuck in the trap, and I am going to carefully. So yeah, I assume there's like an aisle going this direction. There's one up there and there's one down there, like you said, right? So they all go to the front.
You're guessing, but yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask the mercenary. Do you know, like, there are 3 aisles, right?
Good call.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, man. If you right here, he kind of whispers and kind of catches himself talking to the eyes. Yeah. He's like, you go. There's 2 aisles and they run down and there's a little corridor. There's a little spot for the door, just like this one. So he lets you know that basically. I'm just pinging the map here.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same page. I don't want to start moving stuff around, but
you're good.
Basically 2 aisles running down. There's some intersections between them, but right. These kind of 2 main aisles that run down the length of the car.
All right. Well, I'm going to set the bear trap like right at the crossroads, like right in front of us, basically. And like
So here I'll kind of pull it back a little bit. So. The crossroad, you guys are like right next to the door, and there's stuff right in front of you. So you can go up or down, but you can't go like directly in front. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
So sorry, this thing's being a little bit uncooperative. So I'll pull it back just a little bit. So there is that kind of intersection, but you would have to kind of choose to go around what's right in front of you.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So we can go. Like here or right down in the middle.
I would maybe just move down, set it up in that crossroads, and then blow your whistle so you have enough space to back up, and maybe me and the mercenary can swing around from top coming down.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'll do. So
I'll signal to the mercenary and be like, "Come with me," and we're gonna slowly sneak our way around and down, just like low to the ground, and we're at the ready.
So just to
go ahead and move those tokens how you want there, King.
Yeah, just to mark it, this 12 is going to represent the bear trap. So
nice.
I come down.
Nice.
I just like crawl down here as quietly as I can, and I open up the bear trap and lay it down. Is there do I see potentially anything I can hook the chain to?
There's equipment shelves that are bolted into the floor, so you could kind of loop it around and hook that carabiner in for sure.
Yeah, I'll do that too, just in case. And then I'll scuttle back a little bit, and I tell them on a 3 count, I'll blow the whistle.
Okay.
All right, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, that's your whole turn, setting it up, getting ready.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to do, Billy?
No, I'm just at the ready. I have my pickaxe ready to swing that if that thing comes in and gets caught. So we're on the ground waiting for something, and then if nothing happens, we will make an effort after that.
Okay. So you kind of just get ready to where you can hit it when it comes. All right.
Yep.
You blow the whistle there, Zero.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's see if it works.
Oh man, I love seeing this in my head. I'm just laughing. I'm not laughing because of like GM evil laugh. Just like it is really cool, and I'm nerding out how cool it is. All right, you attracted its attention, and out of the darkness lumbers this massive thing. It's pushing its shoulder and like having to move sideways down the aisles. This thing is so big. Its head's reaching up into the gloom. And as you were you lighting anything on fire, or this is still in the dark?
Just the
I
whistle.
think it's still in the darkness. Yeah.
Okay. So as this thing kind of moves forward, you just hear just like this clicking and like this all manner of noise. You hear metal scraping as it's kind of pushing metal out of its way as it kind of works its way down the aisles. And as it kind of confronts you and you see it, I need you both to make a madness check. You've never encountered anything like this before, and you are facing it in the pitch black.
I failed.
I also failed.
Here we go.
This is
all
the
right,
test.
First up, Zero.
We'll see if I just
die.
If I just die, that would be okay. One second. I'm gonna look at the chart, so I just want to get it handy.
Yep.
That is an 11. You laugh to cope and draw attention. Yeah.
You begin to freak out, and you have no other choice but to laugh. So yeah, if you want to describe this, go for it. No pressure.
Yeah, I'm just like was expecting the same type of creature from the last spot in the medical bay, and so I'm used to that guy a little bit now, even if that was terrifying. And as this thing is coming and crushing like boxes and pushing over shelves and stuff, I've realized that this is something way different and way bigger, and I just start like laughing in a high-pitched mad voice, like slowly going, having lost some sanity.
Absolutely. Okay. Go ahead and roll up a d20 there for me, King.
6.
Ooh, a 6. You drop what you were holding and it breaks. So your pickaxe, it clatters out of your hands, and it hits just the right angle where this shaft just kind of breaks off. And so this thing is no longer usable in its proper function. The pieces lay there before you, but it's just like you just lose your grip as you just are stunned by this thing, and this pickaxe clatters and shatters at your feet.
It's speechless. Absolutely speechless.
As this thing comes forward and it hears the laughter, you kind of see the glow, the luminescent glow of its eyes kind of fix on you, Zero. And as it does, it steps into your trap. Go ahead and roll up a d12 for me.
4.
And you see it latches into its leg, and you get a better view of it as it's so close to you. It basically has these kind of like T-Rex-like, arms that are sticking out in front of it that look fairly human. The next set of arms up are these huge pincers that are just like, they look like they could encapsulate an entire person in them. And then the final is like these kind of almost like Dr. Ock, Doc Ock kind of stinger tails that are these tentacle-like, stinger scorpion tails that are above it with these big, nasty stingers at the end. And they're kind of like sitting up like snakes ready to strike. And as it kind of like howls and screams, Just again, the very presence of this thing, you guys both take an adrenaline as he just like howls in pain. You don't even have a chance to resist. The trap is around its leg. It's captured, and it like makes a swipe towards Zero as you have drawn its attention, and you hear that chain that it's attached to strain, and you know it's not going to hold it long, but it will hold it for this round.
All right.
And with that, it's back to you guys.
Does it hit Zero or no?
No, it can't reach him. It's the trap is effective, so that pincher comes within inches of Zero, but does not able to get him.
Zero.
I think we got to run.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's only one way for you to go unless you want to go through him.
Can I go up past the door here, or do I have to?
You can.
Yeah, so. Okay, well, is it back to our turns?
It is.
And we're
okay,
we have 5 rounds left. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're at 5 rounds, right?
Are we? Or are we still at 6?
I got mixed up. I don't know.
That's
I got mixed up. Anyway, yeah, I will run this way.
Just go. Just go.
Yeah. And I'll make a fire move. Yeah, like basically however far I can go. I think at this point I'm a bit in flight mode. So like it'd be one thing if we had guns, but it's different.
Mm-hmm. You see the corridor ahead of you. You're able to move, I would say, to the middle of this map. Yeah.
It's like right here.
You can make it about yay far as you just book it. If you spend your whole turn just moving down this narrow aisle, you can get that far.
As I'm running past here, I just yell to them, run. Like, just run. As I there we go. When I run past there, I just look at the 2 guys and say, just run. Just go.
Okay. For me, what I'm going to do is I want to roll over and run, and can I roll against my adrenaline to see if I like stay aware enough?
What do you mean?
I want to be like, what I essentially want to do is I just want to see how Billy would handle this. Like, is he going to go straight into flight, or is he going to be able to steel himself a little bit to like make a decision?
Yeah. So, that's up to you as a player. If you want to make a charisma roll, if you want to roll against adrenaline, I'm just going to work with you on what you want to make that character come alive. But I don't have anything. I'm like, oh, this is what you should do.
All right, I'm going to stick with the charisma, and I'm just going to make a charisma check because that's your stat for mental fortitude.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to roll charisma. I got a 19.
Nice.
So
let's go.
He's got enough of a state of mind. I want to grab something from the shelves. I don't care what it is. I just want to, like, as I'm running, be like, and just see if I can pull something off the shelf that's useful.
As you move and pass the corridors, you see that in the place of one of the shelves is a huge metal cage that has been like bent and broken open. And you can clearly see this is where this creature came from, that it came onto this thing as freight and has since like made its way free. And as you kind of just reach for the shelf for something useful, what I'm going to have you do is go ahead and roll me a D6.
6.
Oh boy. All right. You can make the choice. You can roll on the guns table, or you can get more bullets for your rifle.
Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, what do you think, Zero? Bullets?
I think the 1 second. Let's look at the guns table really quickly. I don't know. I think it makes your own bullets kind of make sense.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's the safe bet versus the nothing exactly bad bet on the guns table.
I feel like we learned earlier, the train doesn't really allow a ton of
That's
weapons.
right.
So
Yeah.
I don't think the train would transport
So-
guns. Maybe they would transport bullets for hunting, and since this is a hunting rifle, that's what it is. But they're not going to like have a grenade launcher on board because that goes against what the train believes.
Sounds good to me.
So I'll take
Yeah.
I'll take hunting bullets.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to go wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in a moment of blind luck, your gut and your spirit just speaks to you and be like, reach to your left. And you just reach out, you grab and like it's this, you hear the rattle of bullets. And as you kind of feel them in the dark, you're like, oh my, I can't believe it. Like these are the bullets from my rifle. And let's see how many you get.
Come on. 2.
You get 2 more bullets.
Okay.
That's not nothing.
That's not nothing, but
Is you kind of like feel those and the weight of those 2 bullets, and you make your way down the aisle.
okay.
You're
Yeah.
able to just about catch up with Zero as he makes his way through. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it for me. Whew.
Okay.
Billy's feeling a little bit better. Having a couple bullets in his hand is definitely reassuring.
Okay. This mercenary is going to roll charisma.
Oh boy!
Oh, nice.
And he steals himself where he knows that he is in over his head, and he starts like running down this path and behind you guys, just being like, let's get out of here. This creature breaks free, and you hear the snap of the chain in the dark as you hear it owl and call out. And you hear behind you as you kind of see the shapes moving in the dark, you see this thing kind of turn the corner and start moving toward you guys. He's going to roll against the mercenary for his first action.
Oh, come on.
Okay. And he gets +6, so he makes it. And he cuts down the mercenary and tosses him to the side. For his next action, he comes toward Billy. +6 on the roll. She hits. And you are now, Billy, one of his pincers. And you begin to feel that thing like crush down on you. And you will be cut in half without any relief in 3 rounds.
Crud. Do I take any damage in the meantime?
Not in this first one.
Okay.
You're just caught. Okay. As he kind of catches you, it slows him down, and it's going to be harder to hit Zero. So I'm going to add 3 to your defense, Zero, as he has to beat a 13 now.
Oh!
This one's a stinger.
I only have 4 hit points, so I'm very likely dead.
Roll a hard Constitution for me.
I just want to check something.
Come on, Zero.
Yeah, no.
We got to get you back to that car.
Natural.
21 or higher on Constitution.
Nope.
Okay. If you want to spend some grit, you can.
We'd have to spend 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
what's gonna happen? Do we know what's happening to him?
That stinger is coming toward him, and right now he's holding it back, and it is making its way toward his chest, and venom is dripping out of the stinger.
Zero, like, this is totally up to you. If you want to use the grit to resist, like, that's fine. If you want to save it, like, I can maybe get out, try to save. I don't even know what's gonna happen to me either.
yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, if I go down, I'm unconscious pretty much.
Yeah.
If you even get out to save me, right? So.
Use the grit for yourself. Use the grit for yourself.
Yeah.
I have a weapon, so.
Okay. I mean, I have a weapon as well, but I had to survive first. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna have to use 2. So.
Okay. You add your adrenaline to it as well, so this should.
Oh,
this should
actually,
bump you
no.
up.
I might not. Okay, I have 9 adrenaline plus 7, so 14, 15, 16 plus the 8 that I rolled at first. So.
Sorry about the
That'll
math.
do it. Yeah, I forgot about the adrenaline.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not so bad.
So
because that does
Oof.
it. But just barely.
That's the one upside to adrenaline ticking up is
Yes.
that grit can be a lot more effective. So yeah, so I think just again to emphasize what you guys already said, but put it in narrative form. Billy is caught in this thing, and he calls out, and he's like, "Zero, go!" And Zero like steals himself, and he pushes that stinger to the side, and the stinger sticks into some of the metal that's next to it as he's kind of like trying to get his stinger arm free. And you are able to resist this attack. You are free and clear, Zero. Billy is not. And 1 second. I am really struggling at counting down these rounds. So this is my turn. I counted that down. We're good there. And the Merc got knocked to the side. And yeah, it's back to you guys.
Yeah, I think we have 4 rounds left.
Yeah. Okay. And you have 3 rounds to not die. So, okay. If I can take an attack, I did take the katana from the mercenary. So if I can take that, I definitely will.
Yeah. Totally.
So just reading the katana, just to ask the question, it said if on a 15 plus, you attack again. So
yes.
Even if I roll, say, a 15 and I miss because the target is 18.
Absurdly high, yes.
Yeah, but I would still get a chance to swing again.
Correct. This katana is so well balanced and moves through the air just almost effortlessly. So it gives you this chance to do this double strike. So even if you don't make the target, if it's a modified 15 or higher on strength, you can roll again. I want to remind you, if there's any ways for you to lower the target with light, that always is available to you as well.
Oh, sure. So is that going to take my full turn though? With the Zippo lighter is the only thing.
Yeah. So if you want to click on the Zippo lighter and leave it on as you toss it to your feet, that's a free action. It'll bump it down for this round. If you want to light something on fire that will continue to burn and provide that ability to kind of have awareness and lower the target, that will take your whole turn.
Sure. Yeah. Can I see anything in my immediate vicinity?
I mean, there's luggage, freight. We're just gonna see how effective as a torch material it would be. So I'm gonna roll a d6. So you see something, you can light it. It's gonna be moderately effective. It'd probably bump it down a couple of points. So you get it down to a 16.
Okay. All right. Well, what I will do. Yeah. I mean, I think that makes the most sense because I think if we can lower it even for a little bit, we'll have that much of a better chance. So. Totally. I hold out the katana, but then I look at the thing and I say, "Let go of my friend, you son of a bitch!" And I light the lighter and I just toss it into the luggage, next to the creature. So, hoping that it lights some stuff up. Okay. And it maybe makes I'm thinking. I think Zero's thinking maybe this will make a distraction, a flame next to the creature, or
yeah, totally.
He's not even really thinking about the light so much, but then maybe it creates a little bonfire and.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance that it does. And so what I'm going to have you do is go ahead and roll for me. Go ahead and roll a wisdom roll. And this is just your instincts guide you to just the right spot. There's a chance that it's going to be even more effective than what we were talking about.
Come on.
10.
Okay.
Or not even 10,
so,
8, actually. I got mixed up. Charisma is my +2.
Okay. So you light a small fire that begins to burn away some of the darkness.
Just for a little time.
Yeah. So for the next round, that bumps it down by 2. And if you want to move, you can. If you just stay put, I could maybe take another hard action or something. But it takes a little bit of intention to get this fire lit and stay.
Well, so I yell to Billy as I'm coming back, and I rush this way. Okay. How far can I move? Sounded maybe about that far, or can I get just around the corner?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay. My thought is I'm going to come around, if I can, to the back on my next turn and attack.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if that's possible, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can make it all the way back around to this side.
I think you could. You kind of know your path, and now the light is guiding you, where you can see it filtering through the freight. I just want to be clear that this monster is absolutely brutal, and so if you want to take it on, you can. But I just want that to be clear as a GM, where it's 3 actions per turn.
Just go.
They're pretty gnarly.
Just get out of here.
Okay. All right, that's 0.
Okay.
Billy, we're going to make competing strength rolls.
Oh, okay. He feels the pain on his torso. Oh, man. Yep.
Oh,
11.
You get free. This thing catches some metal, and it like serves as a lever to open the claw, and it drops you as like it just got caught in the tight spaces. And you, Billy, are free and clear. You have your full turn as you ordinarily would. Okay. What do you do?
If I'm standing right beneath him, I just want to put my rifle like straight up to his chin and just let him have it.
Yeah, this is so dope. I'll
spend a
I'm
grit.
not pulling my punches
I'll
here,
spend a grit for
this
it.
This is so freaking heroic that I'm going to give you a hero coin right now.
So I already have one. So I have one, and I'll spend it.
Okay, so you deserve another one.
Okay, well I'll spend the one I have to get this.
The rifle.
Okay, so I'm gonna go for this.
Okay.
And that is a 18. Okay.
Let's go.
I'm gonna spend my grit and my hero coin for that to add to that attack. So my damage is first 12.
Okay.
Plus an 8, so that's 20. Plus my grit, which is 6 plus 7, so 13. So 33 damage in this shot. Did it do it? Did it work?
You blast its head off.
Woo!
What happens is it kind of like lifts up and it opens up some mandibles to kind of roar, and you see these needle teeth, but it exposes the bottom of the roof of its mouth. And that is all that Billy needs in the flickering lights. The shot fires, gunk just explodes from this thing's head, and it falls backwards and falls in a slump and falls on top of this mercenary who's trapped underneath it. He doesn't kill him or anything, but he's just pinned by the hulk of this body, or the bulk of this body, as that thing just slumps and twitches as insects do, and its legs start to retract inward.
That was amazing. I love that. I feel, though, I need to get some adrenaline. Can you give me a D4 of adrenaline for that?
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling adrenaline, and that is totally justified in my head. Okay, I'm at 11 adrenaline, but that is totally worth it, and I feel that fits. Because I'm sitting here on my seat with adrenaline going.
I just thought of a something maybe you would like as a note for the game. What if you can say, "I will take adrenaline for like a bonus or for a grit dice or something like that." Might be like you maybe can't do it a lot, but like you can do it once or twice, like in a session.
That does fit. That kind of fits. Lines up with the grit, but it's I kind of. I don't know. Regardless of rules, whatever.
Yeah,
that was amazing.
Oh, I agree.
So that's grateful to the dice.
This thing slumps back, twitches up, it shrivels in on itself, and the merc is just like pinned underneath and just like, totally frozen in fear. The fire grows, the darkness dissipates. You clearly see the corridors ahead of you.
I hear the gunshot and I yell out, "Billy!" And I'm like, "Oh shit! Did you kill that thing?"
Yeah, you probably after a second, like I'm breathing heavy,
You're probably covered. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
there's probably some
I'm sure
splashback.
there's goo on me, and I'm just sitting here like Zero. Like I just call it like Zero. You still there?
I was like, I'm still here, man. I'm still here, and I'm gonna rush. Well, whatever. I guess we'll wait till the turn. But
yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I'm just gonna rush up to him and get going to the. So is that mercenary alive? I thought you said when the thing attacked him.
He's alive.
Oh, sweet.
He got thrown to the side. He probably broke a couple of ribs, but he's alive.
Okay, all right.
Let's pull him up.
Yeah, I want him to come with us. I
was gonna say put this fire out. We don't want it to spread too much.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you deal with this. We're going.
Yeah,
and we're gonna stop this train. Yeah, actually, looking at that placing too, like maybe I got to run this way, and Billy got to run this way.
Yeah,
and
booking it.
Yeah, we just got to go.
Okay.
It's like, I yelled at the mercenaries. Billy killed that thing. It's totally fine. It's going to be okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about the giant dead monster. It's definitely 100% dead.
Yeah. I want to leave that guy alive to spread the word of Blind Billy.
You definitely earned your reputation there. That was awesome.
All right, we got in 2 rounds, the train is taken over completely, right?
So that was them breaking into
Jax.
Breaking into the command.
Okay.
Okay. As you guys come through, this room is well lit, powered by this mysterious technology of the train. You see these big engine blocks thrumming, thumbing, big coils of wires running all around, where these big generators are on either side of you, with coils of electricity running, all throughout. Imagine like 1980s nuclear reactor control room. There are dials everywhere, toggles, switches, indicator lights. This was the peak, the most advanced tech that existed in like the 1980s. So like imagine these big consoles for screens. Most things are still analog. The indicator lights, there's incandescent light bulbs that are lighting up this room, and they're kind of swinging side to side, and they illuminate these figures in front of you. And this guy calls out, and he commands, he's like, "Are you through that damn door yet? Hurry! Get through there. We don't have much time. I don't know what the hell that thing was in the other room, the other car." And he's like, "I'm working as fast as I can, boss." And he's like cutting with a welder, and you see that they've almost made their way around this bulkhead door that leads into the control room of the engine. And this guy turns around, and he's got a thick mustache, this nasty scar that's like stapled up together. And you recognize both of these figures as members of the Calorie Company. The Calorie Company is this greedy, food distributor. And in the Waste, that makes them really powerful. But what makes them unique is their staffing technique, which I'm not going to go anywhere too dark with here. This is not inbreeding. It's not, gross. It's just that they have handpicked and selected the biggest, most badass, stocky figures of the Waste to fill their ranks. And they are rich, so therefore they are well equipped. So as you guys step in, you see these guys in full armor, helmets, and both of them are built like NFL linebackers or like offensive linemen that have that big gut, but you wonder how they move so dang fast, right? Mm-hmm. So both of these guys are just thick in the neck, corn-fed, bulky men that are ruthless to tangle with. And this older guy turns around, and he's still of the same build, but obviously the superior. And he kind of turns around and sees you and kind of goes like, "What in the hell are you doing here? "You back off right now before you lose your heads." And he just is like pointing his finger and threatening. Like, he's not instantly just attacking you, but seeing you covered in gunk and goo is kind of throwing him off a little bit as well. And he's like, "You keep working. I'll take care of this." And he's like, "Yes, boss, you got it." And he continues to cut through the door. In 2 more rounds, he will break through. What do you do?
I look at Billy and I lean in and say, "If we make it out of this, I won't tell anybody that you're not acting." And then I point my katana at the guy and say, "You're in the presence of Blind Billy, Slayer of Beasts," and say that thing back in the last cargo train, or the room behind us. Billy took that down with 1 shot.
I'm going to have him go ahead and make a charisma roll.
All right, +2.
No, I was
going
making
to.
that
Yeah.
because you kind of announced that to him, and he keeps his nerve. It doesn't faze him that he killed this thing, but it, just enough where he kind of like braces himself for a fight a little bit more, but he's not shaken.
Yeah, sure, okay.
And he calls back out to you. He's like, "I don't care about no Billy. I'm a captain of the Calorie Company. You think I haven't messed with upstarts like you before? My name's Blue. Best be knowing it. It'll be the last name you're gonna hear if you keep this up."
All right, what do you think, Billy?
Well, intimidation probably isn't going to work. I don't want to jump straight into a fight, but we've got limited time. And they're armored up, so I can't necessarily just, like, pop one off.
I don't know. I don't have much equipment left that'd be maybe of interesting, clever use, except for my whistle. So
yeah, I've got a canteen, a spool of wire.
The other character I rolled up, he rolled a flamethrower for his weapon, which would have been, I'm sure, very useful. That and a dagger. So,
well, I guess maybe what I'll do is, since the only real option is since he's held it back, I'll lean into the intimidation, and I will bolt forward, and I will try to get as close to like his forehead with my rifle, and intimidate him. Try to intimidate him as well. Have not like be looking directly at him, but maybe like looking off to the side just a little bit. Do whatever I can do to like really shut him down.
Yeah. So I think with you having your custom rifle compass and this thing carrying a reputation, and you just instantly raise this to his head, it's going to be a little bit harder for him. I need you to go ahead and make an easy charisma roll.
That's a 21.
Nice.
Okay. So everything for him is going to be harder as he is shaken.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and roll me a d4.
A 1.
Okay. So he's shaken for a round.
Crud.
Okay. So his eyes get really wide, and then he like takes the rifle, kind of like sticks it up against his forehead, and he'd be like, "You don't know, old Blue," and he kind of tosses it to the side, and he just comes with a straight up haymaker under your chin. It's going to be harder for him. So he just swings, and this huge, thick tree trunk of an arm just grazes by, catching like the tip of your nose. And you realize if this thing had landed, it would have been a solid hit. And then he kind of like rolls forward, and he kind of like he still has a hold of your rifle, and he kind of pushes you back up against this door. And he's like, "You think I'd let you live? If I walk away from here and people know what happened, if anybody knows what happened, it's my head. It's my head." And he comes over, and he's going to try to bring down his, hammer of a fist on top of Zero.
Oh no.
And yeah, so Compass's reputation has worked on this guy. Like, he's putting up a good fight, but you see that he's hesitant, and it gives you just enough room as this next kind of swing like comes down hard. And you know that this guy, he's not going to back down. Like, you made it more difficult and you got this upper hand on him, but he can't afford to let you live. Like, he can't afford just to like call it good and walk away. Like, the entire waste would be after him.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
All right.
One more round until that door breaks down.
Yeah.
This guy up here, he's using like a blowtorch.
Yep.
Is it like is it the type that's like a big, like acetylene torch? It's like a big scuba tank, and there's like a hose going to his torch, that kind of thing, or is it just like a handheld torch?
Yeah, he's got a acetylene tank on it strapped to his back.
Yeah. So okay. So there is potentially a hose I could cut.
Yes, there is.
Okay, I'm going to rush past Blue. Just as he swings, I duck under his fist, and I rush with my katana, and I'm going to take a swing, not trying to hit the guy so much as hit the hit the hose and just hopefully cut off the gas supply.
Okay.
Hopefully that's not super dangerous. I don't know if it is or not.
It's an easy strength, just because he's engrossed in his work.
All right, so I have 0 to strength, so I got to roll the 12. So let's go.
I think you guys, do you have 1 grit left, or is it all gone?
No, we used it.
We used it, yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to be sure. Okay, so yeah, he kind of sees you out of the corner of his eye, and as you're just tired at this point, and so swinging this thing as it comes down, he's able to kind of just get it out of the way as it kind of comes and clinks against the metal. You just couldn't put quick enough effort into it, and he's able to react. But you do pull him away from the door, where he's no longer working on the door.
All right.
But now he is focused on you, so...
Well, that's worth something.
Okay. Billy.
Okay, so I think I see what Zero's trying to do, and as I'm pressed up against him and everything, I'm gonna move Compass more accurate than the North Star, and I'm gonna try to knock the nozzle off of and release the gas from the acetylene canister. Whether that's through cutting the pipe, doing whatever, I'm gonna try to make that shot.
Okay. So you want to shoot it off?
Yeah, I'm held up against the wall, and instead of shooting Blue, Compass is gonna move over, and I'm gonna aim at this guy's canister.
Yeah. With that called shot, it's gonna be a hard dex roll. That's a small target.
And I don't think I have. Yeah, I don't have a hero coin because I used it in that damage.
As you spin that bullet, you realize that is again like you're out, right?
Yeah, that's my last. That was my last shot.
Okay, and you are facing a cavalry company officer with no bullets, and that's your thing. So I'm going to need you to do a madness check.
Okay. Nope. Failed. I needed a 12.
Okay. Roll that d20, sir.
10.
You may still act, but you are frozen in place for 1 turn, so you are stuck there. You can't move. So your next turn, you are going to be frozen in place, but you can still take an action.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right. We still got a shot. We might get through this. We slowed him down. Maybe we'll keep the door closed.
Blue sees what you're trying to do, and he kind of holds you up, and he says, "Look, there's been enough blood spilled today. You make a deal with me, we might be able to see this through. What do you say?"
Not with the likes. Not with the likes of you.
Why are you trying to take over this train?
You disrespected the train.
This train belongs to everybody. What are you trying to do, taking it over?
Belong everybody. My ass. That's not how the waste works. This here's gonna be property of the Calorie Company. We're gonna be making profits out of our asses. As he's just like, it's just greed. Pure greed is taking over, and he's acting on behalf of the company. And he looks at your rifle and he says, "That's a nice rifle you got there." And see, I got one here of my own. He slings out his hunting rifle and tries to just hit you with the stock as he brings it around. And he hits. And it's 5 damage to Billy.
Okay.
And he's like, "Tex, I need you back on that door, and I need you back stat. I'll take care of this one." And he kind of comes up, and he's going to try to grab Zero. So I need to do competing strength rolls. He gets +6.
Oof.
I can't beat that.
I can't. I actually cannot beat him. So I have 0 to strength. So
Okay. So he is now grappling Zero and kind of holding him with the rifle, like up against Zero's throat, and kind of like holding him back and be like, "Billy, you stay down. You stay down, Billy. Tex, you get to work." And Tex begins to work on this door, and the next round he's going to be breaking through. "Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, right away, sir." Back to Zero. You're grappled up. You can still take an action. It's just you're tangling with him.
Can I flip the sword around and try and stab back at him?
Totally. With you being grappled, it's going to be hard.
I don't think there's any way I'm going to get out of a grapple from him with him +6. Like, it's going to be really, really hard.
Yeah,
so.
not with a crit, too.
Yeah, so I'll attempt that. I think that's the best thing for me right now.
Come on. Oh.
My digital characters always roll terribly for some reason. Not too bad this game, actually, but in other games I've played, I've been like, my actual physical dice are usually much better, or much more average, let's say. All right,
Billy.
Okay.
You can't move.
Yeah.
I can't move.
Yeah,
I don't have any range. I mean, don't have anything left. So the only thing that I can do is, I'm just gonna take my canteen out and take a sip to steal my nerves, and I get 3 health back. That's all I can do.
I just say to the 2 guys, like, even if you manage to take this train to Wasteland, they're gonna stand up to you.
Door goes down, and Tex kind of steps through looking for operators of the train. And as he steps through, he doesn't see anyone in the control center. Same thing with just, tons of controls. There are seats, but they're dusty. They haven't been used in many years. As he's like, "What the hell? Where are they? Where is everybody?" And Blue kind of like carries Zero in as he like grapples with him and kind of pulls him in. He's like, "Yeah, hurry, find out how this damn thing works. You stay right there, Billy. We'll get this figured out real quick." And he kind of like steps back, and he is simply going to try to end Zero. And so is going to be a strength roll to just snap Zero's neck.
That's
and he
my
makes it.
Defense. Yeah.
And I need you to make a hard Constitution roll.
All right.
Oh.
So he comes in, and your windpipe just crushes and snaps, and he assumes you dead, and you are indeed dying as you drop to 0. And that took all of his effort, just doing that kind of super attack on 0. I'm going to say that was everything for his turn. As he kind of like stands up and looks back, he's like, "You're next, Billy. You're next." And Billy, you can't help but gain some more adrenaline from this. Mm-hmm. So
is it D4 rounds?
2 more to Billy. Yep, and it's D4 rounds until dead, but that won't start until it comes back to your turn. There's a chance you'll pop.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's right. All right. Well.
Okay. So 0's down. They're trying to figure out the controls, and he goes up to his command console, and is trying to figure it out, but this is technology that's beyond them. What do you do, Billy? Or, sorry, Zero. Go ahead and try to roll a 20.
Okay. Nope.
Okay. Now go ahead and roll your D4.
4. That's not too
4
bad.
rounds.
Okay. I'm going to step up, walk over, pick up the katana, silently look at Blue, and just try to swipe at him. Billy's still coming back from that moment of high adrenaline, high stress, and so he doesn't have the words.
Hold up.
That's a dirty 20.
Hit.
Yes.
Let's go.
Okay, so for that, it's
you get to roll again too.
You get to attack a second time.
Yes.
Okay, so
let's go.
First damage is 5.
5. Okay.
And then that next one is just a 10. So he just does 5.
Oh, you slash him. You cut. You draw blood as like a Kill Bill, like you just see blood kind of like scatter across the controls. And he's like holding that wound as he kind of steps back. He's like, that's it. You're dead. You're dead, I tell you. And he's like, Tex, you figure this thing out. Let's finish this. As Blue kind of like rushes back and takes his first swing.
Oh.
Ooh. He gets +3 to that, so that's 8 damage.
That drops me.
Ah, damn.
Billy's dropped as you get flung back through the door. And he's going to double tap old Zero. He steps back, boot to skull. And he hits. Yeah, it's max. Zero, you have one chance right now that you snap to and can roll away from his boot, and you need a 20 to do it.
No.
Okay. Zero is dead.
Zero.
He lived a good life.
Okay. Does he come over to me?
No, that was both of his actions, and he's walking steadily over. And as you're kind of down, you kind of see him in this dreamlike state. He's stepping over to you. You need a 20.
Okay. Well, I'm dying timer of 2. I got a 12.
Okay. Blue steps over to Blind Billy. He's like, Blind Billy, you watching this? And he takes his same boot he just crushed your friend, steps down on you, and hits. And you get one more shot, just like Zero did. Get a 20.
Oh.
Nope.
The last thing that Billy sees is boot to his head as he lights out and granted eternal rest in the waste.
Oh. There it is.
There it is. That's all right.
Those good deaths. Good death. Our names will go down.
Well, we got Pops. He'll tell our story that way. Yeah.
The final frame that you guys see as they step to the controls is he's like, what is this saying, boss? What is this saying? And as you're just like taking your last gasps of breath, he's like, what is that saying? And he starts reading out loud because they're not the most intelligent folks. And he's reading out loud, and it says, access denied, self-destruct initiated. And these guys are like, what in the hell? And you see this little, like, he's like, what? Self-destruct? What the? And then the last thing you see is a bright white light. Boom. As the train self-destructs, taking the Cavalry Company officers with him underneath the mountain. What effects that will have in the waste remains to be seen.
Not the train.